Now, we've done an awful lot of work using the command line. Of course, it's not the only way to do system administration. With the case of users and groups, we actually have a graphical utility that we can use to configure those. So, on an Ubuntu system, if I go to system administration and then users and groups, it will launch this particular interface here. This is very simple, not surprisingly. I can go to add, and this would add my user. It's asking me to authenticate myself so that we can be sure that we're not just allowing anybody who happens to walk up to a console that is logged in and start adding users. I can say my name, and it's going to suggest a username. Of course, I don't have to take that if I don't want to. And then once I've created that, it's going to allow me to set a password by hand, or I could generate a random password, and we can just keep clicking generate if that's what we wanted to do. In this particular case, I am going to create a password here for this particular user. I can go to advanced settings here. It will give me the ability to set the office location, work phone, home phone, user privileges. So I could allow this user to configure printers, share files with the local network. Some of this has to do with the groups that this user would be added into. And then, of course, I can disable the account, set the home directory. So all of the other things that we could do with user add, we can do here as well, just in a graphical format. Of course, I can also manage groups. You can see all of the groups that are here. If I were to select one and bring up properties, it would tell me who's actually in the group. And of course, I can add people if I wanted to do that. That would allow me to add users to these groups. I can select one I could delete if that's what I wanted, or I can certainly add a new group to my list of groups. And then, of course, create group numbers at the same time. Now we've got a new group in our list, and I can close this. Here's another way that you can manage your users if you get tired of doing a lot of typing and you'd rather use the mouse. You can certainly use that system utility. So that would be used if you were using users on your local system rather than using something like LDAP or maybe connecting to an Active Directory server that is somewhere else. Also, NIS and NIS Plus would have different user configuration or user management capabilities. But if you are managing local users using the standard password and shadow files, you can either use the command line for that or you can use this graphical utility. If you go to system administration and then users and groups, you can manage your users and groups in that way as well.